My name is Richard Lipsky, and I'm representing the Flushing Coalition for Responsible Development and the people that you see behind us. Merchants, residents, concerned citizens, good government groups, Small Business Congress, the Bodega Association, everyone coming together because the Flushing Commons project, as it is configured today, will be the death knell for the small businesses of Flushing. There will be not enough parking for the people coming to the small stores of Flushing. There won't be enough affordable housing for the people in the community. The downtown Flushing area is going to be fully gridlocked so that no one can get in and out. This is a project that needs to be rethought, and it's not something that it's in its current form should be pushed forward.
If you go down to downtown Flushing and just walk along the streets and ask anybody you see, what do you think about this project for Flushing Commons? They will say, is the city crazy? Are they nuts? Downtown Flushing, the number 7 line is overcrowded. The traffic situation is a nightmare. And yet you're going to just pluck this huge development right down in the middle. The business community is going to be devastated forever. The people who go there and park and service the community, the business community, are not going to be able to park. If you want to do something smart by the people of the city and downtown Flushing, expand the municipal parking lot. You don't need this additional development. And the fact that you will give whatever new parking is available to a private contractor, to a private concession, is not only ludicrous, but it's a shame to the people of Queens, because you know what's going to happen. I think there's a 2-year prohibition that the rates can't be raised. But after that, that private concession is going to raise rates to park in downtown Flushing through the roof. That is unacceptable.
This project moved ahead without consultation to the civic groups. That is why the Queens Civic Congress is opposed to the project in its present form. But one thing we need to emphasize, there's going to be 250,000 square feet of retail space here called National Destination Retail. There is no provision that these retailers will be paying a living wage. So we will have a project that will threaten the small businesses of Flushing, 900 strong, with no guarantee that the jobs coming in will be living wage jobs.
Around the country, other cities are increasingly require large projects like the proposed Flushing Commons project that receive city-subsidized benefits to guarantee in return that the jobs created pay a living wage. The employers at the new development will be receiving land sold to them at below market cost. The project will be eligible for subs and will almost certainly receive additional subsidies from the Industrial Development Agency. So those employers will have a substantial and unfair advantage over existing local businesses. The city needs to do what other cities across the country are doing, is requiring that jobs that are subsidized with taxpayer funds pay a living wage, to put them on a level playing field with the existing small businesses.
For too long, we've seen plans come through the EDC that have no positive impact on the local community. Look at Yankee Stadium. Look at Albee Square in downtown Brooklyn. Look at Citi Field. Look what could have happened at Kingsbridge Armory in the Bronx if the community didn't stand up for itself. The plan to put large retail in small, tight-knit communities with mom-and-pop retailers is devastating, not only to the local community, but to our economy. We need to make sure that when we use subsidies, when we use public property, that development supports the community and creates good jobs.
One of the major flaws of the Flushing Commons project is its environmental impact study. Grossly underestimating the amount of traffic, underestimating the amount of parking that is going to be needed. Next person speaking is someone with 40 years of experience in development, in traffic engineering, Brian Ketchum.
Well, as Richard suggested, I'm a transportation engineer. This project is going to provide 1,600 parking places. I can demonstrate, or have demonstrated, it's going to need 2,200 parking places. That's a 600 that are missing. What's going to happen is you're going to have 2,000 to 2,200 people coming into this parking garage every hour during the workday, trying to get in, trying to circulate, finding parking places. You're going to see gridlock within the parking facility itself, vehicles spilling onto both 37th and 39th Avenues, increasing the gridlock that the developer minces no words about it. It's going to be terrible. You heard earlier, traffic is terrible. This project is going to make it that much worse.
The developer won the right to develop this project in a 20-company competition, promising the moon. And instead, all of those things have changed. Many of the promises that were made have been reneged upon. We call that in the business a bait and switch. So what we're concerned about is not only about the parking and the effect on the businesses, but also the benefits to the community. And while the community board has included a number of stipulations, if they are actually approved and followed through, which would be a benefit to the project, it would only make the project go from devastating to horrible. So we're in a situation where we would like to see the project pulled back, rethought, and have input from the community that actually would be serviced by what's being proposed. I'll just remind the people here that there was a project proposed over 20 years ago for the Flushing Municipal Parking Lot by Zeckendorf. That project was half the density of this project, and it was defeated for being too dense for the property, and it was withdrawn by the city and by the developer at the time.
As the previous speaker just rightfully said, if this was thrown out for congestion and traffic problems 20 years ago, is there anybody in New York City that could tell me there isn't more traffic, especially in Flushing, which has been booming the last 20 years, back then than there is now? So if we got a traffic problem now, and we got gridlock now, and we got no place to park now, and the small businesses are suffering, imagine what will happen when we sell off our taxpayer-owned lot, which should generate money for the citizens of New York, should support the small business. That's why we have municipal lots. These lots that are left are in key locations around the city. They should make money for the city of New York. They shouldn't sell us down the drain, and they certainly shouldn't sell communities and small business down the drain. And you keep it a muni lot, so the average New Yorker can spend a couple of quarters and run into the store and leave and pick something up. Because we all know that private lot, no matter what deal is made, no matter what moratorium is made, sooner or later, those prices are going up, and the average person's not going to be able to go and shop there. And you will hurt the merchants, you will hurt Flushing, so let's get real serious, focused. The Flushing Commons plan is flawed. It's a failure. The figures don't add up. They're being forced down our throats. The bottom line is we own the lot, taxpayers own the lot, the people in Flushing own the lot. It should stay there, get rid of the plan, invite the people to the table, and let's figure out what's good for Flushing. Thank you very much. See you.
What's happened now is this developer will have control over all the parking, virtually all the parking north of Main Street, probably around 60% of all the parking in Flushing, and he can raise the rates to anything he wants. In fact, you only have to go to his property, Queens Crossing, and you will see the rates will be raised 4, 5, or 6 times what they are now. You can't raise parking rates and not have an effect on merchants. You can't provide all 500,000 square feet of retail and commercial space and not have gridlock. There are big, big problems with this project.
Small businesses provide 2/3 of private sector jobs in our city. They make up the backbone of our local economy in Flushing. But with this development project, our small businesses are in grave danger of being dislocated, being destabilized, and ultimately devastated. We can't afford that. I hear the claim that Flushing Commons project will create jobs. Yes, we need more jobs. In this economy, nothing is more important than jobs. But the problem here is that even the expected benefit will not be enough to make up for the job losses and devastation to our small businesses. So what we need today for Flushing, here is the answer. We need responsible development. We need responsible development that is consistent with our vision for our community, that protects small businesses, that protects the quality of life for our local residents. Thank you.